What's up, Internet? I'm Iron Jordan. Welcome to the revival of the channel as a Dragon Ball Super card game channel, no less. We're going to be discussing deck techs, we're going to do meta discussions, we're going to talk about new cards that are released or spoiled and come out and their effect on the meta and the game in general. Um, Welcome. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about Android 17. This leader is coming out in set 9, which it's kind of hard to believe that set 9 is already upon us, as it seems like just yesterday this game was just coming out. I've been playing since set 1. I'm a veteran of Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. I've played a little Vanguard. Keyforge is fantastic. I played Panini Dragon Ball Z for a while. I actually still do. I love that game. Shout outs to Joey and the developers for keeping FanZ going. But Set 9, Android 17, is the only mono blue leader in the set, and I think that he actually has a spot in the upcoming meta. I don't think he'll be like tier 1 or anything like that, but he has a lot going for him, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. So let's get right into it. He's pretty standard on his front side. When he attacks, he draws a card, specifically has to attack a leader. Most leaders have this to keep them from getting starved out and to create hand advantage early. He has a secondary effect, which is Activate Main. Says choose one Universe 7 in your hand, place it in your drop area, draw a card. You get to cantrip for free, which is pretty solid, so you're seeing more cards during your turn. Filter's really good. That's why Hirudegarn's always been good. So Beerus is good. All that other stuff. Awaken when you're at 4 less. On tap 1, draw 1. Pretty solid. I prefer on tap 2. I think most people do, but you know what I mean. Bad side, 15k when you attach draw a card, standard leader effect. Lots of text on this guy. Um, the bigger the text box, the more potential for broken the leader could be, unless your name is like Zamasu or whatever, because they don't do that guy justice. Activate main once per turn, red blue, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, return it to its owner's hand, then choose up to one of your Universe 7 cards in your drop area and add it to your hand. So you have removal and recursion for 2 energy on your leader, which you can do every turn. So that's pretty fantastic. I liked that ability to be able to like deal with problems. There's no energy restriction. As long as the card doesn't have barrier, you can bounce it back to your opponent's hand on your main phase. Activate main once per turn if there are 9 or more multicolor extra cards and or does it say and or? It does say and or. Universe 7 cards in your drop area. This card gains plus 5k, double strike, and critical for the duration of the turn, making your leader a threat all by himself. And that's part of the reason why I like this leader so much, because we're going into a meta where Cooler is going to be very prevalent. Everybody knows that Cooler is going to be tier 1. And one of the things that Cooler is going to do is that he's going to make battle cards a lot worse. Playing battle cards against Cooler is not going to be always the most advisable thing to do. And so if you have a leader that has the ability to win the game by themselves, like this guy, Hachiak or Janemba, you'll have a better chance in the matchup against Cooler. Obviously, it's not going to win you the game straight out, but it helps. So going into the deck tech, we're just gonna go from here. 4 Dimension Magic. Tien's gone. Playing a blue leader. Dimension Magic is fantastic. Play it. Force into being. Extend your plays. Play well on defense. Just a good card. Universe 7 Representative. This card is the only yellow card in our deck. We're playing 2 of it. 2 things. It counts as Universe 7 in all areas, so it counts for our front and back side. We can pitch off the front, and it'll count as a Universe 7 on the back side. And it has no specified cost, so we can play it even if we don't have any yellow energy charged. We have Android 18 Steadfast Technique, which is a 2-drop 0 plus 5k combo, has 15k power, and whenever you combo with it, you can pitch an extra card from your hand, and if you do, it becomes an 11k combo, which is really solid. It gets a lot of extra cards out of your hand, a lot of extra cards out of your hand, and it sets up your leader's backside pretty well, so you can pitch those extra cards and stuff like that. Frieza Undying Emperor is a 2-drop requiring 2 blue 15k counterplay, and it's just is that all you've got. It just bounces stuff back to your opponent's hand. It's a Warrior of Universe, or it's a Universe 7, so you can search it, you can get it back from your drop area with your leader effect, so pretty solid. Super combo, again, searchable, and let's do it at 5 life, pretty solid. You have the first big piece of like our engine here, which is the Ultra Instinct Universal Impulse Goku, and it's our only multicolored battle card aside from the Vegeta down there. And when you play it, he gets plus 10k, so he's a 26k. And then when your opponent plays a battle card, you can bounce it back to your hand, which interacts really well with the Vegeta, which we'll get to later. So your opponent plays like, I don't know, you play this guy, you attack into your opponent, they activate a topo, you can bounce this guy back to your hand, that way he's safe from the bat swing or whatever. Important to note that if you do this on your opponent's turn, if they have something that like they play it and it kills the Goku, the turn player auto goes off first, so he will die. But he does have some built-in protection, which is pretty dope. Combination of attack is just a super good dual color defensive card. It is really solid. I recommend playing at least two of it in every blue-red deck. Tyranny's Cost. I just want to play with this card. I think this card's like pretty solid. I don't think it's great by any means, but it can swing hand advantage relatively decently in your favor. It's an extra card that's dual color, so we can pitch it off the 18 or play it or whatever, and it counts towards our leader's ability on the bat side, and we can charge it. So hey, it's there. Barrier of Hope. This is part of the new rare cycle. We get a themed rare cycle that every color gets every set, kind of like Magic does too. Like in set 7, it was the drop area negates. These are the ones that are the 3 costs that remove barrier and do something else. They're also able to be activate battled for plus 5k for the duration of the battle. So they're basically like a plus 5k combo card, which is really great because they're never dead in your hand. And this one I actually like because, hey, we don't have any other way to get rid of barrier. This will get rid of the barrier card, draw 2 cards, and just keep moving. 4 burst Tat Son Gohan. This is the primary target of our 5-drop Gohan to summon from our hand. Draws cards, crit, 3-drop. It's also red energy, so hey, amazing. Super Saiyan Vegeta Blast Barrage. You'll see that we have 2 of these cards in the deck that require you to have 4 extra cards in your drop area. So this guy is essentially a 1-drop 15k negate most of the game, and then he'll be an attacker on the bat swing. So that's really good. He can also neg 5 something, which is really solid. It'll kill something, maybe keep it from attacking you, make it harder for the thing to attack you, whatever. He could be a pretty good swing. We've got our one non-Universe 7 battle card in the deck, which is Furthering Destruction Champa. The leader can give himself Double Strike, which is awesome, but they see it coming. So this kind of lets us, sneak up on somebody and also give one of our battle cards Double Strike if we really want to. So there's that. We've got Son Gohan, Swift Reinforcement. He's just like the Vegeta. If you have 4 extra cards in your drop area, he's a 1-drop. He can't attack leader cards, but he can attack battle cards in active mode, and he's the primary evolved target for our 5-drop Gohan. 2 Royal Condemnation. I just think this card's really good. We're not playing Invoker because I think Invoker is a little gimmicky, a little slow. It's very powerful, but I'm not sold on it yet, so I want to see what it can do. I really want other people to play it before I see if it's good or not. I just think I don't like playing decks that have just like a ton of non-comboable cards for free, like a ton of 0-5. I like to play at least 22 0-5Ks in my deck at all times, and I don't think the Invoker deck wants to do that. 12 maybe, and I don't like that a lot. I could be wrong, but I just not a fan of it. But I do think Royal Condemnation is a good card, and I think you can justifiably cast it for 4 and have it save the game for you and then win on the bat swing. So yeah, I like this card at 2. We've got 3 Results of Training Son Gohan. This is our primary finisher. You're going to evolve for 4 on top of either one of the Gohans, preferably the one that can become a 1 cost. And when you evolve him, you play 3 drops or less from your hand, which is basically everything except for this Vegeta, because everything in the deck can become a 3 drop or less off of their effects that lower their cost and stuff like that. So that's really solid. You just get a bunch of 15Ks or a bunch of whatever and just go for it. He's a 5-drop, so he's not going to get preemptive or hidden potentialed. He's a 25K, so he's not going to get denialed. He can still get bloodlusted, I guess, but yellow leaders aren't the best right now, particularly with the Broly nerf and everything happening, so I think this card's pretty free to play. Then we've got 3 of another pretty mid-rangey, really good card of the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Steadfast Ally. This is also in the starter deck along with a Goku. It's a 5-drop blocker, 25k, and whenever a red-blue multicolor card is removed from your battle area by a skill, if he's not in play, you can play him. So if your opponent plays, I don't know, any tiny 1-drop on their turn, bounce the Goku back to your hand, play the Vegeta for free, you can block with him, your opponent doesn't kill him or whatever, he stays on the field to be a 25k attacker or whatever. Just a good solid body. I think this card's really good. We're playing, I think, 14 multicolored cards, and as you'll notice, I'll address a few things real quick. We're not playing any of the checked lands. We're not playing any of the Frieza checked lands. I don't think the deck really needs to. You're going to be holding most of your, at least in my iteration, you're going to be holding most of your extra cards, most of your dual colored extra cards to use them for defensive purposes or for entire cost case offensive purposes, I guess, on your turn anyway. And then the other cards you'll be using to play the battle cards. You'll be using them to hit your opponent with, and so you're not be charging that much dual colored energy. I'm not really trying to make this deck charge too many dual colored. This is the first time I'm really experimenting with playing a dual colored deck that doesn't play its check lands, with the exception of I played Golden, and Golden doesn't play check lands. But I think the deck will run fine without it. Preliminary testing has been pretty solid. Haven't really done very much of it though, so we'll have to see when the set gets fully released. The other thing is that our extra card count feels pretty solid for the most part. I think that we're trying to get a lot of these dual colored extra cards in for the leader effect off of the 18, and then using them for defense or whatever. But yeah, this is the deck. I think it's going to be pretty solid. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be tier 1, but it'll be fun. You can probably top a locals with this. And I will continue to update it. If anything major happens, then I'll let you guys know. For now, I appreciate you watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.